Emma was a 16-year-old girl who lived in a small and quiet town near the sea. Her town was not very big, but it was warm, peaceful, and full of friendly people. Every morning she woke up early because she loved watching the sunrise from her window. From her house, she could see the sky turn from dark blue to pink, orange, and yellow. This colorful view made her feel calm and happy at the beginning of each day. Emma lived with her mother and her younger brother, Daniel. Her father worked in another city, so he came home only on weekends. Because of this, Emma helped her mother with many things. She prepared breakfast, cleaned the living room, and sometimes helped Daniel with his homework. Even though she had many responsibilities, she never complained because she loved her family very much. Her school was a 15-minute walk from her house. She enjoyed walking because she could listen to music and watch people open their shops in the morning. On the way to school, she always passed a small bakery. The smell of fresh bread was so good that sometimes she stopped and bought a warm bread roll for herself. At school, Emma's favorite subject was English. She liked learning new words and reading simple stories. Her dream was to visit another country one day and speak English with people from different cultures. Her teacher, Mr. Lewis, often told the class stories about his travels. Emma listened carefully and imagined herself traveling around the world. After school, Emma usually met her best friend, Olivia. They liked going to the park near the sea. They sat on the grass, talked about their day, and watched the waves. Sometimes they collected small seashells from the beach and kept them as memories. Emma had a big glass jar in her room filled with shells from different days. She believed each shell held a small story or feeling attached to it. One day, while Emma and Olivia were sitting on their favorite bench, Emma noticed something unusual. Far on the horizon, she saw a small light, almost like a reflection or a signal. She pointed at it and asked Olivia if she could see it too. Olivia looked carefully and nodded, but she thought it was nothing important. However, Emma felt curious. She wondered what the light was and why it appeared there. That night at home, Emma looked at the sea again from her window. The strange light was not there anymore, but the memory stayed in her mind. She felt a strange excitement, like something new and unexpected was about to happen in her life. She didn't know what it was, but she felt that the light was the beginning of a mystery. Before she went to sleep, she opened her jar of seashells and picked one up. She closed her eyes and imagined all the possible adventures waiting for her. Maybe the light was from a boat. Maybe it was from a lost traveler. Or maybe it was a sign for her, a sign that her simple life was about to change in a big way. With this thought, Emma fell asleep, not knowing that the next day would bring a surprising discovery.
The next morning, Emma woke up earlier than usual. She did not know why, but she felt excited, as if something important was going to happen. She opened her window and breathed the fresh sea air. The sky was still dark blue, but she could see the first light of dawn appearing far away. As she looked at the horizon, her eyes searched for the strange light she had seen the day before, but there was nothing, only the calm sea and the quiet morning. Emma got dressed and went to the kitchen. Her mother was making tea and Daniel was still half asleep. Emma sat at the table and kept thinking about the light. Her mother noticed her silence and asked, "Is everything okay, Emma?" Emma didn't want her mother to worry, so she smiled and said, "Yes, I'm fine, just a little tired." But she wasn't tired at all. She was curious. On her way to school, she walked a little faster than usual. She kept looking at the sea and the sky, trying to find anything strange. When she reached the bakery, she decided to buy 2 bread rolls, one for herself and one for Olivia. She thought maybe Olivia would want to talk more about the light. When she arrived at school, she saw Olivia waiting near the entrance. Emma gave her the bread roll and said, "Good morning." Olivia smiled and thanked her. Then Emma asked quietly, "Do you remember the light we saw yesterday?" Olivia laughed softly and said, "Yes, but I think it was just the sun or something simple." Emma shook her head. No, it looked different. It looked like a signal. During English class, Emma tried to focus, but her mind was somewhere else. She imagined a small boat lost in the sea or someone needing help. She even imagined the light being the start of a secret adventure. Suddenly, Mr. Lewis called her name. "Emma, can you read the next sentence?" Emma jumped a little, surprised, and quickly read the line. Olivia smiled at her, knowing Emma was thinking about the mystery again. After school, Emma and Olivia decided to go to the beach instead of the park. The sea was calm and the waves were small. They walked along the shore, their shoes sinking a little in the wet sand. Emma kept looking at the horizon, waiting for something. Olivia noticed this and said, "You really think it means something, don't you?" Emma nodded slowly. As they walked, Emma suddenly saw something lying on the sand near the rocks. "Olivia, look!" she shouted. They ran toward it. When they got closer, they realized it was a small wooden box. It looked old, and the outside was wet, as if it had just come from the sea. Emma felt her heart beat faster. This was no ordinary box. Olivia bent down and touched it carefully. "Should we open it?" Emma looked around. There was no one else on the beach. The wind was soft and the sea made a peaceful sound, but Emma felt a strange tension in the air. She took a deep breath and said, "Yes, let's open it." Olivia lifted the lid slowly. Inside the box, they found a small glass bottle. Inside the bottle, there was a rolled piece of paper tied with a thin string. It looked like a message, an old message, maybe from someone far away. Emma's hands trembled a little as she picked up the bottle. She looked at Olivia, who nodded, encouraging her. Carefully, Emma opened the bottle and pulled out the paper. It was slightly wet, but still readable. When she unrolled it, her eyes widened. The message was short, but strange. "If you see the light, follow it. The sea remembers everything." Emma and Olivia looked at each other. Neither of them understood the meaning, but they both felt the same thing. This was not a joke. The light, the box, the message, everything was connected. Olivia whispered, "Emma, what does it mean?" Emma stared at the horizon and said, "I don't know yet, but I think we are supposed to find out." And for the first time in her life, Emma felt that her peaceful town was hiding something bigger, something mysterious, something waiting to be discovered.
Emma and Olivia held the mysterious message for a long moment, their eyes wide with a mix of excitement and confusion. The wind blew gently, carrying the smell of salt and the soft crash of waves. The beach was empty, but Emma felt as if something or someone was watching them. It wasn't scary, just strange, like the world was waiting for their next move. They walked to a safer, quieter part of the beach and sat on a big flat rock. Emma placed the wooden box beside her, and Olivia held the glass bottle. The message lay on Emma's lap, and she kept reading the words again and again. "If you see the light, follow it. The sea remembers everything." Olivia finally broke the silence. "Who do you think wrote this?" Emma shrugged. "Maybe someone lost at sea, or someone who wanted to leave a clue." "Do you think it's real?" Emma asked. Emma looked at the sea. "Yes, I think it's real." They decided to take everything, the box, the bottle, and the message, back to Emma's house. As they walked home, Emma's mind raced. She imagined the message coming from an old shipwreck or from someone who needed help. She imagined that the light was a signal, guiding them towards something hidden. When they reached her house, Emma ran upstairs and placed the items on her desk. Her room was small but cozy, with pictures on the wall, a bookshelf full of old novels, and a small desk lamp shaped like a starfish. Daniel knocked on the door. "Emma, what are you doing?" Emma quickly hid the wooden box under her bed. "Nothing," she answered, too quickly.
Daniel raised an eyebrow but didn't ask more. He walked away to play his video games. Emma closed the door and sat beside Olivia again. They looked at the message under the lamplight. The letters were a little faded and the paper felt rough and old. "We should check the internet," Olivia suggested. Emma opened her laptop and searched keywords like mysterious beach message, old bottle note, light at sea, and sea remembers. Most of the results were stories, myths, or news about tourists finding random messages. Nothing matched their situation. Then Olivia noticed something strange on the piece of paper. "Emma, look at the corner." Emma lifted the paper closer to the light. In the bottom right corner, there was a tiny symbol, almost invisible. It looked like a small wave with a circle above it. "I've never seen this before," Emma whispered. The girls spent another hour searching for the symbol online, but they found nothing. No history, no meaning, no matches. Suddenly, Olivia asked, "Emma, what are we going to do tonight?" Emma blinked. "Tonight?" Olivia nodded. "What if the light appears again? The message says to follow it." Emma felt a nervous excitement grow inside her. She looked outside. The sun was setting, painting the sky orange and pink. The evening air was becoming cooler, and the sound of the waves was louder now. "We can't go alone at night. It's dangerous," Emma said. Olivia thought for a moment. "What if we go to the cliff? It's higher so we can see the sea better, and it's not too far from town." Emma knew the cliff well. It wasn't high or scary. It was a place where people often watched sunsets. Her mother sometimes took pictures there. It was safe enough. "Okay," Emma finally said. "After dinner we meet there." They agreed, and Olivia went home. Emma ate dinner quickly, barely tasting her food. Her mother noticed her strange behavior again. "You seem very busy in your mind lately," she said gently. Emma forced a smile. "Just school things." After dinner, she grabbed her jacket and told her mother she was going to take a walk. It wasn't unusual. Emma loved walking by the sea, so her mother didn't question her. She walked quickly to the cliff. The sky was now dark blue, and the stars were starting to appear. The town lights behind her looked warm, but the sea ahead looked endless and mysterious. Olivia was already there, holding a small flashlight. "You're here," she said, relieved. Emma nodded. She felt nervous but excited. They sat on a smooth rock and stared at the sea. The sound of waves was stronger here, and the wind was colder. They waited in silence. 10 minutes passed. Nothing. 20 minutes passed. Still nothing. Emma started to think maybe the light wouldn't appear again. Maybe yesterday was just a strange coincidence. Maybe the message was unrelated. But then, a soft glow appeared on the horizon. "Emma, look," Olivia whispered loudly. This time, the light was brighter than before. It flickered twice, then slowly moved to the left. It was not a boat. It was not a reflection. It looked like a controlled signal. Emma's heart pounded. This is it. This is the light. The message echoed in her mind. If you see the light, follow it. Olivia grabbed her arm. "Do we follow it now?" Emma looked at her friend, then at the sea, then at the mysterious light moving slowly across the dark water. "Yes," Emma whispered, "we follow it." And so, with fear, excitement, and a growing sense of destiny, the two girls began a journey that would change everything they knew about their quiet coastal town. Emma and Olivia stood for a moment at the edge of the cliff, watching the moving light far out on the dark water. The wind was cold now, pushing their hair back and filling their ears with the sound of the waves crashing gently below. The sky was full of stars, and the moon was thin and pale, giving the whole night a quiet, mysterious feeling. Emma swallowed hard. "We should go down to the beach," she said softly. Olivia nodded, though she looked nervous. "But how do we follow it? We can't swim at night." "We're not going to swim," Emma said. "We'll get closer from the shore. Maybe we will see something that explains the light." They followed the small path down the cliff. The path was narrow and covered with sand and small stones, but they moved fast. When they reached the beach, the sand felt cold under their shoes. The girls walked toward the water, the waves washing in slow movements. The light was still there, slow, steady, moving left and right, as if someone was guiding it. Emma whispered, "It's not random. Someone is controlling it." They started walking along the beach, trying to keep the light in sight. Their shadows stretched long behind them, and the moonlight reflected on the water in silver lines. Everything was quiet, except for the sea. After a few minutes, Olivia said, "Emma, look." She pointed to the sand. Emma kneeled down. There were footprints, fresh ones, leading away from the rocks toward the water. But they were not normal footprints. They were bigger than a child's, but smaller than an adult's, and they looked strange. The heel was deeper, and the front part had an odd shape, almost like two small points at the end. Emma touched the print gently. It was cold and smooth. "Who made these?" Olivia asked, her voice shaking a little. Emma stood up. "I don't know, but they're new. Someone was here not long ago, maybe the person who sent the message." They continued walking. The light suddenly stopped moving. It stayed perfectly still over one place on the water, glowing like a floating star. Emma felt goosebumps on her arms. "It's waiting." "For what?" Olivia whispered. "For us," Emma said. They walked closer to the point where the footprints disappeared into the water. Then Emma saw something on the ground, a small piece of wood carved with the same symbol they had seen on the message, the wave with the circle above it. Emma picked it up. It was smooth, and the symbol was carved perfectly. "Olivia, someone wants us to find these clues." Olivia looked around nervously. "But why us?" Emma didn't answer because she didn't know, but she felt something inside her, a strange feeling that she had felt her whole life, like she belonged to the sea somehow. The light suddenly flickered twice. Emma and Olivia gasped. Olivia said, "It's giving us a signal." Then they heard something, soft at first, then clearer, a whistle. A long, slow whistle carried by the wind from the direction of the light. It didn't sound like a boat horn or a person calling. It sounded different, almost musical, almost sad. Emma felt the hairs on her arms rise. "Someone is calling." "What do we do?" Olivia asked. "We go closer," Emma said without hesitation. They walked along the shore until they reached the small pier near the edge of town. It was old and made of wooden planks. During the day, fishermen used it, but at night it was always empty. The light was now directly in front of the pier, brighter than before. Emma stepped onto the first plank of the pier. The wood creaked under her foot. Olivia grabbed her hand. "Emma, are you sure?" "No," Emma admitted, "but we have to find out what this is. We're already in it." They walked toward the end of the pier. Every step made the pier shake a little. The water below was dark and deep, moving quietly. When they reached the end, Emma stood at the edge and stared at the light. It was close now, maybe 50 meters away, too close to be a boat, too still to be a reflection. Suddenly, the light went out. Darkness filled the sea. Olivia gasped and stepped back, but Emma held her hand tightly. "Wait," Emma said. Then something rose from the water, slowly, silently. At first it looked like a large shadow. Then Emma saw a shape, round, smooth, like a large stone. But stones don't rise from the sea. It rose higher, pushing water aside. Then Emma saw it clearly. It was a dome, smooth, black, like polished metal. Water ran down its sides. There were lines carved into it, swirls and circles, some glowing faintly. Olivia whispered, "What is that?" The dome stopped rising, half above the surface. A line of soft lights around it began to glow, blue, then green, then blue again. Emma stepped closer. It's like something ancient, something hidden. The whistle came again, but much clearer. It sounded like it was coming from inside the dome. Then something opened. A small, circular entrance slid upward, like a door. Warm yellow light shone from inside, and the air that came out smelled of wood and salt and something old, as if from another time. Olivia grabbed Emma's arm. "Emma, we should go back. This is too much." Emma's heart was pounding so fast she could hear it. She knew Olivia was right. They should run. They should tell someone, anyone. But she couldn't. Something inside her pulled her toward the open dome, a feeling she couldn't explain, like a memory she never had. She whispered, "Olivia, this is why the message came to us." Then a small hand appeared at the entrance. A hand, small, pale, and delicate, with long fingers and the same two-point shape they saw in the footprints. Emma froze. The hand lifted slowly, as if waving. Then a voice, soft, trembling, but human, came from inside. "Please, help me." Emma and Olivia stared, unable to move. The light on the dome glowed brighter, and Emma knew. Their quiet, simple lives were gone. The adventure had truly begun.
Emma and Olivia stood frozen on the old wooden pier, their eyes locked on the small hand reaching out from inside the strange dome. The yellow light shining from within made the hand look even paler, and the quiet voice, soft, scared, almost whispering, echoed in their minds. "Please, help me." Olivia's breath shook. "Emma, someone is inside. A child. We have to do something." Emma felt fear, but she also felt something stronger, responsibility. It was the same feeling she had when she first saw the light, the same feeling she had when she opened the mysterious message. It was as if the sea itself had chosen her. Emma slowly stepped forward, her feet trembling on the wooden planks. "Hello?" Emma said, her voice small. "We won't hurt you." The hand slowly lowered, and the voice came again, a little clearer. "I can't stay here. The water, it's rising inside." Olivia gasped. "Inside the dome? That means it's filling up." Emma leaned forward and looked closer. The small circular entrance was glowing softly, and behind it she could see a narrow room, round, smooth, and strange. She couldn't see the person fully, only a small figure sitting near the entrance. Emma whispered, "We have to help them out." Olivia held her arm tightly. "But what if it's dangerous?" Emma looked at her friend. "Someone asked for help. We can't leave." Olivia swallowed hard, then nodded slowly. "Okay, but we do it together." Emma took a careful step toward the dome. It was in the water, low, but reachable from the end of the pier if she leaned forward. The sea looked deep and dark underneath, but the glowing dome made the water shimmer in green and blue. "Can you come closer?" Emma asked gently. The small figure moved slowly. Then the face appeared in the doorway. Both girls sucked in their breath. It was a child, but not exactly like them. The child had pale skin, almost silver under the dome's light. The hair was white blonde, glowing a little like sea foam under moonlight. The eyes were large, round, and a soft gray, deep like the sea, calm but scared. The child wore a thin, strange-looking suit, almost like a wetsuit, but made from a material Emma didn't recognize. The child whispered, "I can't swim well. My leg is hurt."
Then they lifted their pant leg. There was a deep bruise on the ankle. Olivia covered her mouth. Oh no! Emma lowered herself onto her knees at the edge of the pier. She stretched her arm out. "Give me your hand. I'll pull you up." The child looked hesitant for a moment, then slowly reached out. Their fingers were cool and light, and their grip was surprisingly gentle. Olivia held Emma's waist from behind so she wouldn't fall into the water. "On 3, Emma said softly. 1, 2, 3. With a strong pull, Emma and Olivia lifted the child out of the glowing entrance. The child was lighter than expected, almost like lifting a bundle of blankets. Emma helped them sit on the wooden pier, away from the edge. The dome slowly closed behind them, with a soft humming sound. The glowing lights faded a little, as if the dome was going back to sleep. The child sat quietly, breathing fast, looking at both girls. Emma smiled, trying to look friendly. "You're safe now. I'm Emma. This is Olivia." The child blinked slowly. "I'm Lyra." "Lyra," Olivia repeated softly. "Where are you from?" Lyra looked toward the sea. "Not from here." Emma and Olivia exchanged a quick glance. Emma asked gently, "What was that dome? Were you inside alone?" Lyra nodded. "Yes, it is a travel pod, but something broke under the water. I tried to send signals. I hoped someone would come." Emma felt a chill. "The light! You sent the light?" Lyra nodded again. "Yes, I was calling for help. I didn't think anyone would come." Emma sat beside Lyra and noticed something strange. Lyra's breathing slowed when the waves hit the shore. It was as if the sea calmed them. Olivia looked at the dome in the water. "Will it sink?" Lyra shook her head. "No, it will hide itself again soon." Emma frowned. "Hide?" Lyra looked at her with those deep gray eyes. "Many things in the sea hide." The wind blew softly, and Emma wrapped her jacket around Lyra's shoulders. "You're cold. We should take you somewhere warm." Lyra looked frightened immediately. "No, people can't see me. They can't know I'm here." "Why not?" Olivia asked. Lyra hesitated. "Because they won't understand, and because I wasn't supposed to come to the surface." Emma felt a shock. "You live under the sea?" Lyra nodded slowly, eyes lowering. "My family is far from here. I was on a learning journey. We travel through the water in pods, but I got caught in a strong current. The pod was damaged. I floated until I reached your coast." Emma and Olivia stared, unable to speak. Lyra continued. "When the pod filled with water, I thought I would not survive, so I used the emergency signals. I hoped someone kind would come." Emma's heart felt heavy. "We're glad we found you." Olivia added, "We'll help you get back home, somehow." Lyra's eyes filled with emotion, almost tears. "You will help me?" "Of course," Emma said, smiling. But then a loud sound cut the air. Crack! Something heavy shifted in the water. The dome vibrated. A loud mechanical sound echoed from the depths, like metal grinding. Lyra gasped. "No, no, no, no!" Emma stood up fast. "What's happening?" "The pod! Something is waking it!" Lyra screamed softly. "The sea currents are changing! Someone is coming!" Emma froze. "Someone?" Lyra's voice trembled. "Someone from my world, or something else." The wind howled, the water glowed brighter, and Emma realized their adventure was only just beginning.